Many students who consider taking online courses often tell me that they're afraid of online classes because they wouldn't be able to communicate with the professor if they run into problems or questions. I want you to know that this is a complete myth. Our instructors here at ACC go to great lengths to communicate with their online students. All of them use email to communicate with their students, but in addition, they can communicate with you through Skype, discussion boards, chat, text messages, or calling on the phone. To make sure that you're able to communicate in the most effective and professional manner possible, I wanted to offer some tips and best practices for communicating with your instructor and other classmates in the online classroom. So tip number one for when you send an email is to first introduce yourself. Even though you may have pressing questions to ask, it's important that you first greet your professor by name and identify yourself. Not only is this common courtesy, but instructors have many students, and you can help to remind them who you are by stating your name and the course that you're taking from them. Tip number two, use the subject line. This is the first thing that the instructor will read. Make sure it directly addresses the reason for your email. For example, you may need to send a question about a specific grade in your course. Rather than typing the word grades in the subject line, consider adding more detail. You might use something like question about grades for assignment number 1. This quickly informs the instructor of the purpose of the email. Tip number 3 is to think about the tone of your message. Often written communications can carry an unintended tone, and the recipient can misunderstand you as a result. Try reading your message out loud to yourself. Make sure that your message is polite and appropriate for your needs. Tip number 4 is to get to the point. No one wants to be burdened with long email messages. After you introduce yourself properly, get to the point right away. Do not feel the need to add extra language or fluff to the message. Also, keep your paragraphs small, preferably 2 or 3 sentences in each paragraph. It's much easier to read a bunch of little paragraphs instead of one long one. Tip number 5 is very important, and it is to proofread the message before you send it. Nothing is more embarrassing than realizing that an email that you sent contains typos or grammatical mistakes. You can prevent this by taking the time to carefully proofread any message that you create before you send it out. Sending written communications with mistakes looks unprofessional and undermines the importance of your message. So my advice is to read it, reread it, and then read it again before you send it. So tip number 6 is to end your message on a positive note. Take the time to end the message in a polite way. Be sure to thank the instructor for their time and let them know that you appreciate the help. Keep in mind that the way you communicate with your professors can play a large role in your academic success, so always try to leave a good impression when you can. Finally, tip number 7 is that you keep a copy of any messages for your records. I highly recommend that you keep a copy of any messages that you send to your instructor in case there are problems or discrepancies at a later date. Any email message that you send in Blackboard will also send a copy to your personal email account that you have on file with ACC. Consider making a folder for your class in your email account and place all of these messages in that folder so that you can access them at a later date if needed. Anthony Douglas Williams said that words have great power. The power to help, the power to heal, and the power to hurt. Use this power carefully. I hope that some of these tips for communicating online will contribute to your success as an online student.